Okay, so today I want to just talk with you briefly about science and religion. Notice I didn't say science versus religion, okay? So, what makes me want to talk about this right now? Well, I commented under an article called Misconceptions About Temperature. And yes, I do watch scientific articles. Watch scientific videos like Veritasium. Okay, I don't know if you can call it scientific. Yeah, he has a degree in science, but he's really a video producer. That's really what he is, and that's where his heart was anyway, all along. And he ended up in scientific education, which has a lot to do with my background as well, although I was actually in science itself, astrophysics, at the Stewart Observatory. So here we are, right? This video, Misconceptions About Temperature, I commented under it. You'll find the rooted word commenting under these things, okay? And in this case, I say, this is yet another sleight of hand that proves science is merely descriptive. One moment, I'm going to close the window. I didn't realize how much background noise I was fighting with. I had the door open with the fan down there, and I had the window open here with some traffic out the window. So yeah, my water put in my pomegranate juice bottle. Notice it's all in English, even though I'm in Ukraine. So they do import things that are just in English. So the comment says, this is yet another sleight of hand that proves science is merely descriptive. It is not explaining it. You merely gave a narrative that was describing their experience in a different way than they were thinking. The internal consistency of your explanation made them accept it unquestionably. That is not science. That is religion. And herein lies the great complaints for Christians against scientists. You're conducting evangelism for a religion of faith, not scientific education in this case. He didn't reply. I doubt he even read it. And if he did, he probably just ignored it. Didn't want to get into that debate, thinking that it's Christian religion versus science. Then this guy, Linus Zarok, says, science doesn't have to prove for everything. Most of the theories in science are just the ones that are most compatible with reality. Well, that's not what a scientist would say. A scientist would say we have proof for this, and therefore it is a theory. If you say, what's your proof for the theory of evolution? Well, they will rattle off a certain number of observations, okay? And he says the difference to religion is that religion is based on beliefs, while scientific theories are based on observations. Okay? Now, that's not true. When you ask for proof of a theory, they will tell you some observations, but that doesn't mean it was based on those. Okay? So you'll hear my explanation here in a minute. Sorry, but this is my response. Sorry, but you are wrong. I was an astrophysicist at Stewart Observatories prior to becoming a Christian. Science is not based on observations. Observations are designed to prove or disprove hypotheses. There's a difference between hypotheses and theories. Hypotheses are fancies in the mind created to explain missing knowledge or what seems to be incorrect knowledge. They are exactly fancies, like a fantasy, right? It's an indulgence of the mind. Doesn't mean that it's based on reality. Doesn't mean that it is reality. Doesn't mean that it is a description of reality. It can have nothing to do with reality. For example, in mathematics, you can do this to create some understanding of missing knowledge that's consistent with other ideas in math, and yet has nothing to do with the real world. There's a lot of math that has nothing to do with the real world at all. At all. Nothing to do with the real world. And the same is true of science. Hypotheses are fancies in the mind created to explain missing knowledge or what seems to be incorrect knowledge. Very few hypotheses reach the stage of being considered a theory. And even theories are tenable and can be and are overthrown. Yeah, they are. All of this has exact equivalence in the Christian world. There are hypotheses about the spiritual world. We design observations with reference to the Bible, but designed to be tested in the real world. If they test out with enough people reproducing the results, they can then become spiritual principles, or what used to be called dogma, i.e. theories. Scientific theories function as dogma in the church. If you write against them, you are likely to get censored and ostracized by your fellow scientists. Absolutely true. You will not get published. There is little difference between the two worlds. Science is completely constructed on faith. You have faith that your fellow scientist is not lying or committing fraud in his data. You have faith that the publishing journals are not corrupt and being paid to publish some articles and paid to reject others. You have faith as a humanist that the human faculty of reason is sufficient in itself as an organ contained in one specific organism to sit in judgment on all other organisms and indeed on the world itself as a kind of God, to impose its narration on all and to punish harshly those who dare oppose its narrative. That's science. Science sets the scientist up as a kind of God. Science itself is a God. To censor those who disagree with it and to punish those who disagree with it. So, there you have it. May the Lord bless you as you seek Him with all your heart.